Welcome to another edition of I Quit My Job, where ordinary stories lead to extraordinary inspirations. And this one's a little bit exciting for me. You know, they're all different. I'm finally get to meet the legend in knits. And so finally it has happened, and this guy has an amazing story. Brother, man, I really appreciate you showing up here, man.
You too, man.
Thank you so much, man, for blessing us
you.
with your knowledge and experience. I'd love for you to say who you are and what you're doing currently, and then we're going to put the whole story together, 360.
Amazing. Well, it's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. As we were talking earlier, I was able to catch a glimpse of the show recently, and now I'm here. You know, so
nice.
I give thanks, and I love what you're doing, connecting. There's so much connection around, you know, like your show. I quit my job. Like, it even had me wondering, like, what is that, you know, and there's so many layers. So, yeah, I'm happy to share my story. My name is Legend. My company is Legend Knits. I'm a crochet artist. So even though the company is Legend Knits, you know, at the time when we came up with the name, we're talking 96, 98, 98, I want to say around those times. You know, Legend Crochet just didn't sound. But Legend Knits, it just flowed. So as much as I do incorporate knitting, crochet is what I do. And that's my specialty. I learned from a Rasta man in Trinidad when I was 19, young and reckless. And it was able to guide me. I didn't do it to start a business. I literally did it to make hats for myself. And through the journey of me doing that, and then having some friends that jumped on the journey with me initially, and, you know, even to this day, just the support, I just stay true to the crochet and my vision.
You said you jumped into it as a sustainability thing. I'm starting to grow my locks, so now I need to have a hat. So was there any moment that said, I'm leaving certain type of works to now take this more serious?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like my answer is going to connect with two things. One, where I'm at now and what I'm actually doing. And that aha moment, let's just call it, because the truth is, I've been doing this for 27 plus years. So I've had to quit a job a couple of times to push this and pursue this, you know? So, but I'll go to my most recent. My most recent was in the last year and a half. You know, I've been an artist for so many years, but I've also been in the film and television industry, you know, working away. When I first got into the film and television industry, it was by me selling my products to not only the crew, but to shows, so that my stuff could be represented. And I saw that avenue, and I just kept plugging in. And then I also needed still some other income. And a friend of mine, I'm going to big her up, Shauna Llewellyn, because she plays a major part in the story, because she was like, yo, you should think of getting into film, you know? And so I ended up getting into film so that I could earn some extra money while still doing my business. In the last year and a half, I was like, I need to just focus on Legend Knits. I need to focus on the teaching. I need to focus on my products, my art, because Legend Knits is not just fashion. It's for people and places. And the crochet teaching side is weaving consciousness and uplifting people.
Or when was that, as you put it, that aha moment to say, yo, this is a spiritual, this is where I'm going with this.
Listen, I could tell you like it was yesterday. I was literally on a set, because it's been in my mind, and I'm on a film set. And I was like, I need to do more with what I'm doing. And in film, you don't necessarily have to give in your 2 weeks, because everything is a project. But I was like, I'm going to go tell the team that I'm working with that I'm putting in my 2 weeks. But I didn't even know what the next thing was. It was just I needed to do more. And by doing that, a couple things happened. I did this, let's say, a few months before the whole COVID shutdown. So what was good for me was that I had already started to establish my next movements. So when COVID happened, let's just say, I already had my plan. So it was perfect timing. It couldn't have been more perfect for me. And then that's how the first initial shift started. But the fact that I just felt so good, I think that, because I think momentum is key. You know, when we're doing stuff, sometimes we're striving for perfection, which is great. You know, don't half anything, give your fullness. But I feel like, it's such a beautiful thing when you can, align your vision, and you can push forward what it is you want to do despite whatever the obstacles are.
Right.
And
nice.
But I feel like that spirit, man, that and it's not even right or wrong. It's just that you're listening to yourself.
So that's
all it was. I was listening to myself, whatever that was.
Acted on it.
That's it, man.
You didn't get fearful.
Exactly. And then from there, with what I'm doing now, I was crocheting, just at my home. My home is my studio. And I was like, I need to take the making outside of my studio. And I picked a day, Sunday. And I picked a park, Bellwoods Trinity Park, to be there on Sundays, teaching people crochet. And I put it on my Instagram. And I remember, I had this vision when I was riding my bike, bring like a blanket, my speaker, some incense, just my little vibe, bring it there and share with people. One person came out, right? Yeah. I don't want to say ego, but I was just like, one person, you know what I mean?
Right.
And we had a great day, though. Me and that one individual, I showed her how to crochet. The weather, like I remember it like it was yesterday. And then the next Sunday came, I think I had 4 people. Then people were messaging, oh, I wish it could go longer. And, just that feedback. And then fast forward from staying consistent in the park every Sunday, networking, connecting with people, no matter what, just doing it. Now you can find me at the Drake Hotel on a Monday night, and we pick Monday so you can, we say words are powerful. Weak, we don't like that. So we say start your work strong, not your work weak. Start your work strong. So we picked on Monday specifically for people to get that mentality because of the meditative practice, and we took a chance. Because when I moved out of the park and into a space, it was on a Saturday. And, that's party vibe, so people will come out. So it was packed. The next time we did it was packed, and people were like, oh, we had like 70, 80 people. And people were like, yo, you need a bigger space. And it just so happened that I was in conversations with the Drake Hotel. They were coming out to like my workshops at the Batter Shoe Museum because they heard about me. So it was kind of like the synergy, and it was like, okay, we're going to do this. And now you come out on a Monday night, and we have 100+ people, at Art of Crochet and Jazz, crocheting to live jazz music, and we have performers, and we're just building it.
Because now you're not working. This is your full 9 to 5. So there's a couple things. How was your support in making that? And when did you realize to say, yo, I have to, was there any financial issues at that time that...
Listen, I tell people all the time, man, and if you know film work pays good money, really good money. But the thing about film work is it's hours. I'm working 19, 21 hours a day, 18 hours a day. Like, in terms of finances, like I was getting paid every week with this job. And I'll tell you, when that payday comes and you check your account and it's not it, even though you know.
Right.
Bro, it's literally like you're detoxing. Because I didn't have a 100% plan, but what I noticed is momentum was a key factor. You keep your momentum going while you're figuring certain things out, along with what you already had figured out. And so, yes, I got flowed with momentum for a bit, and then from there, like the teaching side, you start going corporate. So when you start going corporate with the teaching side, now you're getting paid 30, 60, 90 days. Doesn't matter the amount of money.
Doesn't matter. That's just how it is. That's how it is.
And if it's a big chunk, imagine you waiting on that big chunk while things could potentially be piling up.
Right. Which usually are.
So it was like, wow.
And then when you got to the end of that time and you were successfully able to make that contribution to some of those things that were piling up, you're like, what was I worried about?
Exactly. And you realize, if this is the same thing you got to figure out on a monthly basis.
So you said it's meditative. Like, if I come to your workshop, how does the flow of that evening go?
So the flow of the evening is that the performers and me, we're doing everything in unison with the teaching. So the live jazz music is playing while I'm instructing. We have monitors so people can learn, and then I'll get off of the mic along with some other crochet assistants, and we'll go around the room while the music is playing, and that allows for that vibe from the music to us just coming and supporting them. We provide everything.
Okay.
So you come out, you pay your ticket price, but we provide everything. We got the hook, we got baskets of yarn, all natural fibers. You know, I have Romney Wills. They've been sponsoring since I came back from Trinidad. I've been shopping with them. So as much as it's about crochet, there's more that we're offering. I want you to come here to also get the mindset, you know, to implement that into your everyday life.
Man, you've been dropping gems from like an internal side, like from a lived experience. You know,
I feel that's the best way, man. I feel like you're bringing that passion on me because we don't always talk about this, you know. And if I'm gonna come here, I feel like I gotta, you know, express it like exactly how it feels.
But you're doing it as a business from a lived experience, not as a business from financial side, not a business from, oh man, how much money did you make today? Oh, I made this amount. Then you're not successful. You're gonna lose. I like what you're doing, bro. I like what you're doing because
you go into the right segments. Because that was the next thing that was coming to my mind when you were talking earlier. Is that I also decided to take some business courses, bro. Because I came into this artist first. You know, I'll be honest. If as an artist, as long as you're making more money than you need, you're good.
You're good because you have that mentality. Say,
and you're running to you. You're running a business.
Right.
But there's more to it. You know, I'm now figuring out how to scale things. I'm now realizing that what I have is actually a couple revenue streams, and I need to be able to handle each individually, which means I can actually park a couple of them while I build out one or build out two. In the past, that didn't even compute for me. But when I actually took these, you know, extra business steps and I said, hey, you know what, for the next 6 months, I'm going to crochet, but not like the way I was doing it because I'm building this structure.
Right.
And I'm now, I can happily say that I just got back into that creative bag and it feels so blessed. If I am visioning this whole thing, how do I work the pieces of that whole thing with the resources I got
with the resources that you have now?
Exactly, because then when I have the whole thing, I would have already had practice in these individual things. So potentially it could all live under one roof. Potentially it could live in different cities. Potentially, but that experience is in like it's so valuable versus like waiting to say, okay, I'm gonna do this one thing, and then when I get there, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to do all the little pieces that I want for the end goal now. I have to shout out my team. Anyone that's helping Legendness, you know who you are. Like, man, it's allowed me to really, really tap into real people too, man. And I'm so blessed, whether it's videographers, photographers, production, just you name it, man. I just feel blessed. And so when you tap into yourself, when you do these things, you also get to connect with people because we're all connected. I think that is also something that I'm really grateful for in my transitioning of leaving a job, to find good people doing good things and figuring it out. Everyone has their own business, but when we come together, we form.
This episode was more about lived experience. It was more about I wouldn't say the emotional side of the business, but the human side of the business, of what it takes to kind of fulfill what it is that you're doing and what career you need. Sometimes you may have the skills and all of that. That's great. But there's a human side of the business that affects you mentally. And so what I'm hearing from you, looking at that side, is you use the human approach to be very successful at what you do.
I think that, being comfortable, knowing what it is you want to set out to do, not knowing everything, I think that's important. And again, if you are the only one doing something in a certain way, or like, for example, I'm the only dude with dreads that's crocheting, let's just say, then you've got to own that. You know, you got to own that in a way that makes sense for you and your story and your vision. And that will come over time too.
So yeah, this is, I quit my job. I'm slowly +1. And this one was amazing. This is more about gems. This is more about the human side of how a person is running their business and being very successful at it. And Legend, I really appreciate you showing up,
respect,
dropping your gems, sharing those experiences, those testimonials. And again, thank you out there for peeping what we've been doing and checking out this show. Peace.
That's what's up, yo.